Warning, the following program contains scenes of graphic stupidity between a man and some games. Don't take anything I don't say too serious, I'm just messing around. This video should not be viewed by anyone.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Scum News, the show where we take a look at sneak peeks, upcoming features, items, and other thingy-majigs that are going to be added into the game. Today we are going to be talking about the changes that will come to the wound treatment system. We are going to be talking about the immune system, about contaminants like dirt and bacteria, and also infections that will happen if the immune system is unable to fight the growth of bacteria in our potential wounds. Now, starting with what we know about the immune system, it will dictate how resistant a player's character is to getting an infection at all. The immune system is defined by the Constitution attribute value in a way that Constitution 1 defines the worst kind of immune system and Constitution 5 defines the best immune system a character can have. Now, depending on these values, a character's immune system can prevent the spread of microorganisms throughout the wound. So pretty much to sum this up, our chances of infection gets lower and lower depending on our constitution. The more points we have in constitution, the better pretty much. Now when it comes to contaminants, we can get our wounds contaminated if we use, for example, dirty rags to patch up our bleeds. And as we can see here, dirty rags were used for a C4 bleed, and that is going to lead to an infection. The bleeding is of course stopped, but the wound has been contaminated. And by the looks of it, if the contamination reaches 100%, that will lead to an infection, as we can see here. And we have infections going from C1 to C3, and then we also have sepsis. So dirty rags will cause an infection, but not only dirty rags. Depending on the size of the wound, the microorganisms will be able to spread into the body easily and the body will have problems keeping the wound uninfected. However, as long as the wound is not in contact with dirty materials, this is what I wanted to get to, the dirty materials. Dirty materials such as dirt, dirty clothes, dirty rags, or unsterilized equipment. Infections will happen if the wound will come in contact with those, but of course it will be influenced by the severity of our wounds and our character's constitution. So I wanted to get to the dirty clothes. Wearing dirty clothes can lead to our wounds getting infected. I mean, that is pretty in-depth right there. And I'm wondering if we, for example, if we use a clean band-aid to stop a bleed and then we have dirty clothes, how is that going to work? Are the dirty clothes going to influence our wound? Is it going to get infected even though we used a clean bandage? I'm thinking that it will somehow influence it, but we're gonna have to wait and see on that one. Now, of course, if we do get an infection, we will be able to treat it with meds like antibiotics. We can use them to fight off an infection. Of course, depending on the stage and the severity of it, we're gonna have to take meds for longer periods. But some other meds can be used as well, like vitamins or anti-inflammatory drugs. And of course, the Phoenix tears will instantly heal anything, no matter the severity. And I have also seen some sort of alcohol here or something like that we can use to sterilize bandages. I'm thinking that is what we're looking at here. I may be wrong, so don't call me on it. I'm just basing this on this here image. Because if we take a look at the bandages, it looks like they have this bacterial icon and it's crossed off. So I'm thinking that they will either prevent or fight off an infection if they are sterilized with this substance here, which is some sort of alcohol or some sort of substance that is used for sterilizing things. I'm thinking so. I may be wrong on this, but that's just my thoughts on this thing here. Now we talked about parts of this here document, and I will leave the whole thing on the screen so you guys can read through it. We read through all of this before. Every section here, from bacterial infections to the immune system, the size of the wound, stopping the bleeds, medical skills and drugs and things like that. We read through all of this, but I'll leave it on the screen. If you guys haven't seen it and you want to read through it, you can do so. But we hit up the major points throughout this here video. But if you do want to read through it, pause the video, read through it, and see for yourself what the devs kind of talked about in this here document. But it's safe to say that things are going to become a bit more in depth when it comes to the healing system. It's gonna be interesting to see how all of these things will influence the gameplay. Will it make us play a bit more cautious? Will it make us avoid unnecessary dangerous situations? Or are we just going to keep to our own play style that we're used to? I don't know, we're gonna have to wait and see. I don't know how much this will influence play styles because, I mean, you know, we've been playing this game for a long time, and I doubt that a small infection will stop us from, you know, from doing a stick up or from blasting somebody. But maybe it will make us play a bit more cautious, and it will make us kind of consider all of our options before we, you know, we engage in some sort of a situation. But it's gonna be interesting to see. But it's going to be interesting to see, you know, if we're gonna prioritize getting heals, like getting clean rags, getting bandages and things like that, you know, as a precaution, just thinking ahead pretty much. It's like, okay, here I am, I'm a new spawn, what's my first objective? Make a stone knife, make a backpack, make a bow and arrow, make a spear, whatever. Okay, now it's either I go for a gun, which may lead to me getting hit by a zombie or whatever and get an infection, or play the safe route and go for the pharmacy or for the drugstore and try and find some band-aids before hitting up the police department. I don't know how it's gonna play out, but it's gonna be interesting to see, of course. But there you have it. Let me know what you guys think about all of this down below. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you think it's going to influence gameplay or not? I am interested to see what you guys think about this as well. I, for one, think that it's gonna be a good addition to the game because it's going to add to the realism aspect of Scum. But there you have it. That is all that I have for today. I hope everybody enjoyed. In case you did, be sure to drop some stuff and things down below. Make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for taking the time and hanging out, and I will see you in the next one with some more video games.